The possibility of a general election is looming ever closer. The time is coming for you to have your voice heard. By registering to vote, you can cast your opinion on deciding the future of this country and steer it in the direction that you want to see it go in. But the way to do this is by registering to vote.
So I think it's really important that everyone across the country is able to express their voice and have their opinions heard.
It sounds really cheesy, but students are making up the future. Like, we are the future generation. We're the ones that are kind of studying the vocational courses and the academic ones. We're contributing to global research, and we are contributing and will be then leading massive things that will be changing the future of our country and the future of the world.
And we know that students and young people are a particularly underrepresented group, so I think it's really important that all of our students go and have their voice and make sure that their voice is heard across the country.
You have the right to vote. As a citizen of this country, your opinion is vital in deciding what happens. As a student in this country, it's your future that it's going to affect the most. So why wouldn't you want to say?
There's 24,000 students at this university, which means that we're a massive stakeholder in the constituencies that the local MPs represent. But so often they're marginalised and sidelines because people think, well, they're not permanent residents, they don't really care, and that's just not true, and students should absolutely be having a say in what is going on in Southampton.
In 2015, only 43% of 18 to 24-year-olds voted in the Brexit referendum. Less than half of that age demographic had their voice heard. Many young people who were too young to vote at the time were outraged that they couldn't vote on Brexit when it was so important and influential on their life. But now you do have the chance to vote. You can change the future, and you can have a say in where this country goes.
Young people as a demographic have the lowest turnout in elections, which is really sad and disappointing.
Well, I think part of that's down to the two homes. Where do I vote? I don't feel at home here, I'm not at home. I think it's part of it. I think it's just a lot of apathy. I guess you haven't had much of a chance to vote before, you haven't quite seen it, you haven't got into it, you've just started being an adult and it's not quite taken effect. Like, especially students, like, you might not fully get what the taxes mean because you don't pay taxes yet, and it's stuff like that.
So I think it's important to remind students exactly why they need to vote, that they are electing people that speak on their behalf.
Registering to vote is not the chore it's made out to be. The time it takes to register to vote is also the time it takes to make your cup of tea. You go to gov.uk/register to vote, have your national insurance number and passport to hand, and answer the questions shown. If you're put off by travel, then don't worry, there are options available to vote from the comfort of your own home if you don't have a nearby polling station.
You know, there should be a platform where you can debate it, because it is important, because you can't just neglect one kind of cohort of voices, because it's important to listen to all, because at the end of the day we are going to be contributing to the economy, so you kind of have to work with, not against.
Even if those voices and opinions don't agree with each other, there is still value in some of them, in some aspects and elements of them. The way one person feels is going to be for a reason to the way that another person feels, and we've got to make sure that they're all being considered so we can have the fullest picture possible.
Democracy is in place for a reason. It gives everyone the equal opportunity to have their say on national matters.
So what are you waiting for? Register to vote today and have your voice heard.